Hello, word nerds! Happy Thursday! I'm going to be talking about NovelPad today. This is going to be my full review for this site. If you've watched our live chats recently, you've probably heard us all talking about the fact that we're trying out NovelPad. It's a site that is basically a browser-based word processor. It's got a lot of really cool features. I have been testing it out for about the last month. I was given an extension of the free trial so that I could really dig into the program and get to know it so that I could talk to you guys about it. Other than that, I wasn't paid to make this video or anything. The program's fun and I want to talk about it, so that's why we're here. I'm gonna shift to the side here a little bit so I can put some pictures of what the program looks like right here. So yeah, let's talk about some of my favorite NovelPad features. Obviously, the note card element is very cool. It's almost a must if you're going to be making a program aimed at helping writers. You can separate it out by plot points. You can add note cards to each of those things. I've personally made kind of a little template, I guess, for the Save the Cat beat sheets, where I've got all of the plot points are on these red note cards and they state this is the thing that's coming, and then I can put note cards underneath that match up with that. It makes it feel like I'm sitting on the floor of my office tinkering with note cards, which is something I love to do when I'm plotting. And one of the other cool, unique things about this plotting section of the site is that you can do all of this without it making changes to your actual book. So you can make a bunch of note cards and you can move them around and it's not going to start adding them to your book until you tell it to. This is what the home page looks like. So when you log in, you've got all of your novels set out. You can click and it takes you right to your book, so you can just keep on writing. That's the biggest thing that this website does really well, is that no matter where you are on the program, you can click just one button and it immediately pulls up your book so you can work on it. Even from the plotting board, you can just click and say, let's get started on this, add it to my book. And I think there's just something that's really clear cut and makes it extremely usable compared to other programs that might have a lot more complication, a lot more things to get familiar with. Once you get on this site, there's so much that it can do, but it always is laid out in a way that is pretty user-friendly. I love that you can label your scene cards with colors. You can type out your description of what you're gonna have happen on the scene right onto the note cards. You can even down in the settings, down where the little gear is, you can set certain colors to have certain captions. So for my multi-POV novel, I've got it set so that green is one character and it labels the bottom of the note card with that character's name, and then yellow is the other character. And so it labels it with that character's name. So even right on the note card, I can see it's this person's point of view without having to actually type it out into the note card itself and take up that space. One of the things I'd love to see in the future with these note cards is that right now, if you type out a big description, then you can have that there. You can see it whenever. However, if you don't add anything to that note card and you immediately start writing on it, it still doesn't put anything on the note card, so there's not any way to know what's going on really. In the future, I'd love to see maybe if you don't have anything on the note card, you just get a preview of the first few sentences of what you've already written or something. That's something in particular that I could see being really useful when you're revising as a pantser. Being able to just see a preview of what you've actually done, which kind of moves me into the revising section. Drafting, it's pretty intuitive. You click the little pen button from wherever you are, it's going to take you in so that you can draft. There aren't a ton of bells and whistles to be had with the drafting process generally, you know? You write the chapter can have multiple scene note cards in it, which is cool, and you get the book done. But what I think is the coolest part of this program by far is the fact that you have so much usability once it comes to revisions. You can leave notes for yourself on your chapters. Say, hey, you should fix this thing. And not only can you do that, you can set a deadline on that note. Say hey, remind me in a week if I haven't done this yet. I need to mark it off and say I've done it. You can also take a scene that you've been working on and you can say, hey, make a revision of this scene, which basically it makes a copy of the scene and then you can edit that copy and it saves what you had before. So you can swap between the revised version and the old version and keep anything that you might have accidentally cut. It automatically saves everything, which is obviously another must when you're working with writing programs. I just love that I can be working with the words that I've already written. I don't have to copy paste. I can just click this button and it makes a new one for me. And then if I forget anything, I can go and look at the old one. The website does have some pretty basic goal setting functions right now. I think they're planning on expanding that some, but it does give you charts, and you know how I love charts. I love them so much. And at the start of the next day, you get a little update of like, this is how many words you've written. This is how many you need to write per day to reach your goal by set date. And now we're gonna move into my personal favorite part of the website. I have been on the edge of my seat waiting to get to this part. I saved it for last because I could gush about it forever, but if I have my camera telling me I've been talking for half an hour about this program already, then maybe I'll be able to condense it to something more manageable. This program, as far as I've seen, is the most writer-friendly program as far as getting a bird's eye view of your story is concerned. It has a section where you can look at your novel by character. You can say, this is my character's name, this is their set of nicknames, and then it will line up every scene that that character's name appears in for you. So you can see, like, did I drop them anywhere? Am I missing anything? Is their arc smooth? You can even use it to set objects as characters, like say you're maybe needing to keep track of a magical amulet or something, and you need to know where it is at all times. You can set that amulet as a character and it will show you all the scenes that it is in. You can also set locations for each of your scenes. So each scene kind of has like a metadata situation going. In the note card, you can click, oh, it's gonna take place in this location. And then you can sort by location and see, oh, okay, we spent 8 chapters in the woods, perhaps I should take them somewhere else now. Similarly, a very cool feature is that you can go scene by scene and tag that scene to a day on the calendar, and then you can sort by day and see, oh look, I had them do 75 things on one day. I should split that up some. That's too many things for one day. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. And the last thing I'm gonna say about this is that there is also a feature in the site where you can sort by 2 of those things at once. So you can say, give me this character on this day, or this location on this day, or this character in this plot line from my plot board. And it will give you those things. It will show you all of the scenes that you've written that have those elements. It's just so writer-friendly from a revision standpoint. There's so much that you can do with it. Because it's browser-based, you can use it on multiple computers, you can use it in the browser of your phone. It's all there, always, and that is very cool. It doesn't currently have an app. I've played around with it on my phone a little bit in the browser though, and I don't feel like there's anything that an app would make it able to do that you couldn't do in the browser right now. Obviously, you know, the size of the screen is always going to be a little bit of a problem when you're working with a big book. What's up, guys? It's me from the future. Handheld camera. I realized that I needed a swap revisions version of this video because at some point I deleted the details about paying for this product. So here we go. This is a subscription-based writing tool, which means you pay a small monthly fee and then you get access to it and all of its updates. They use that money to make sure that it's always operating at peak performance for its users. If you think NovelPad sounds like it might be good for you, but you're still a little bit on the fence, you can get a 2-week free trial without having to input your card information. All the info on that is in the description. And so kind of moving into this final section of the video, there's like a couple things that I think are maybe missing or that would really elevate the experience on the site. I don't necessarily feel like they're cons. I absolutely think the site is worth using no matter what. These are just a couple things that I would love to see in the future of NovelPad. I would love to see more of a collaborative aspect to the site. I do co-author books with one of my friends, and right now, unless we just both log into the same account, there's no way that we can work on our book together. I'd also love to see a template section. This program has so many cool features in the drafting process, in the revisions process, and even in the plotting stage. There's so much that you can do. One of the things that a lot of people come to our channel initially looking for is like, I'm brand new to this, how do I write a book? And I think if there was an element of these are different plotting methods, that could be really useful to new writers. Like if you can download, like my note cards, just like a template of this is Save the Cat, this is standard 3-act or 4-act structure. And maybe that's a thing that like users could submit, like this is my plotting structure or something. So that's something that's crossed my mind as something that would maybe elevate the site even more. But other than that, you know, I really don't feel like this site is missing anything major. When I talked to the creators of the site, they mentioned that the thing they really wanted was to make it as easy as possible for you to write your novel. No distractions, just your book. And I think that the site really, really succeeds in that. There's like just enough features that it's extremely cool without ever being distracting from what you're supposed to be doing, which is being productive on your novel. So yeah, my final review of NovelPad is 5 out of 5 stars. It's a great website. I think you should try it out, see if it works for you too. So let me know down in the comments what you think about this website. Have you tried it yet? Is it working for you? Is it not working for you? Is there anything that you wish that they would add to the site, or anything just generally that you wish was done differently? Just let me know down in the comments. I would love to hear your experiences as well. Be sure to tune in this Sunday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time for our usual live chat. I cannot wait to see you all then, and until then, stay nerdy.